Hello, welcome back to English with me. Hey, I said yesterday I was going to post a video about bookings during Chinese New Year, but I thought why not just do a whole video about Chinese New Year? So, I gotta be honest, not last year, 2 years, when I first started teaching online, I actually had no idea what Chinese New Year was. Um, and it's a little embarrassing now that I know how big of a deal it is, but I didn't then. So if I didn't know, maybe there's other people out there that don't know. So I thought I'd do a quick video to kind of explain the main points of Chinese New Year. We'll also talk about how that affects your bookings as an online ESL teacher. All right, so I'm a little bit tired today. I started reading The Alchemist last night and I couldn't stop reading it. That is a really good book. Have you ever read that? Leave me a comment below and let me know, or let me know what your most recent favorite book is. I'd love to know what you're reading. I need some new ideas for my next one. I read way too much. I've usually got like 6 books going on at a time. All right, so let's talk about Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is also known as the Spring Festival. It's still very cold and wintry, just like it is here, but the holiday marks the end of the coldest days. So people welcome spring and it brings along planting, harvest, new beginnings, and fresh start. There's no actual set date for Chinese New Year, which is why it's a little bit different each year because it's not based on the calendar that we use, it's based on the lunar calendar. So, according to the lunar calendar, the Spring Festival is on January 1st and lasts until the 15th or the full moon. Unlike Western holidays such as like Christmas or Thanksgiving, when you try to calculate it with the solar or the Gregorian candle, the date is like all over the place. Chinese New Year ranges from January 21st to February 20th in 2019, but the actual day of Chinese New Year this year occurs on February 5th. So you can expect your bookings to be kind of out of whack that whole entire time. The lunar calendar is really important in China, even though it has officially moved to the Gregorian calendar like the rest of the world. All their traditional holidays and such, and the winter solstice and whatnot, they're all based around their lunar calendar. The point or the object of Chinese New Year, I guess, it was originally a ceremonial day to pray to the gods for good planting and a good harvest season. So in today's society, like harvest isn't so much everything like it used to be, but people still pray to their ancestors and um, they really worry about the gods. So if you've ever seen the movie Mulan, you can watch that for a reference. It's a really great movie to explain that. The myths are a lot more interesting. According to the legend, there was a monster named Neon. I might be pronouncing that wrong. It would come about every New Year's Eve. Most people would hide in their homes, but one boy was brave enough to fight him off using firecrackers. So, hence the use of firecrackers on Chinese New Year. The next day, people celebrated their survival by setting off even more firecrackers, and that practice became a crucial part of the Spring Festival. So, the most fireworks are set off in the entire world on the night of Chinese New Year, more than the 4th of July, because that's just America. This myth about neon, because of that, firecrackers are known to scare off monsters and bad luck. So people stay up on Chinese New Year's Eve and set off firecrackers at midnight. And in the morning, the firecrackers are used again to welcome the new year and good luck. Although I have learned that in Beijing, firecrackers and fireworks are prohibited, so they don't do it there. Probably in a lot of other large cities too, probably a fire hazard. But still, the most fireworks are set off in the world there. The same night, families also burn fake paper money and printed gold bars in honor of their deceased loved ones. It's similar to the Mexican holiday, the Day of the Dead is what it was called. A Dia los Muertes, I think they say. It's been a while since I took Spanish. I took a lot of it in high school, but anyways, the offerings bring good fortune, good luck to their to their ancestors in the afterlife. It's the longest Chinese holiday ever. The Spring Festival is technically 15 days, but the celebrations start on New Year's Eve, making it 16 days. So you can say that the holiday actually starts in the lunar December. It's around 40 days of celebrations in all. Traditionally, people spend time with their families, and they only can go out after the 5th day. It's a national holiday. A large majority of the stores are even closed. Like everything shuts down in China. That's very common. So the month before, people will buy New Year's products. They'll stock up on cooking supplies and all the things that they need, right? Snacks and everything they need. The Spring Festival, in turn, causes the largest human migration in the world. So, the most important part of Chinese New Year is that it is about family reunion. So, families don't always live right next to each other, therefore, they travel to see their families. They go back home, they get together somehow. So, since modern China, most elderly parents live in rural villages, which I've noticed my students usually say, yeah, my grandma lives on a farm or something, and it's really interesting to me. So I find this to be true. And their children work in the cities. So the migration back home and to go on vacation is a huge spring migration. Plus, the earliest you can buy train tickets is 60 days before, so it leads to a mad rush of literally fighting for tickets. In 2015, statistics showed around 1,000 tickets were sold each second. That's amazing. All right, so this is pretty funny. Singles actually hire fake boyfriends or girlfriends to take home. Uh, like those nosy relatives during Thanksgiving. Even it's even worse in China, I guess. Especially since having children and the passing down of the family name is one of the most important parts of Chinese culture. Some desperate singles resort to hiring fake significant others to take home. Interesting fact, there's no showering, sweeping, or throwing out garbage allowed on New Year's Day. That is a way to wash away good luck, so they just don't do that. On the other hand, there's a day before the Spring Festival that's dedicated to cleaning, and so everyone cleans their apartments or houses from top to bottom, kind of like we do spring cleaning. This day is to sweep away bad luck and to make room for the good. Fun part for kids is that kids receive lucky money in red envelopes. Sometimes they're like red pockets, red envelopes. They say hung bao. I think I never do my tones correctly, but hung bao, something like that. Anyway, they get other gifts exchanged during the Spring Festival too, but money is the biggest thing. It's supposed to help transfer fortune from the elders to the kids. The Chinese people usually eat dumplings for every meal, every day. Well, technically they're supposed to, but they don't really anymore because you just can't do it every day. So most people will eat dumplings for New Year's Eve dinner. Others will eat them first thing in the breakfast. People love drinking. I learned this when I went to China. They had a welcome dinner for us. It was a special ceremony, and I have a video of that on here. I'll actually link it to the end of here. But it's like there's a saying that there's no manners or etiquette without wine. So this means you have to have wine for every ceremony, festival, important dinner. So when you're eating with someone older than you, as with the case of Chinese New Year's dinner, you need to follow strict toasting etiquette rules. They include an order of toast, seating, and you hold the wine glass a certain way. There's more to it than that. It's like real particular. It was really cool to be a part of that once. Again, you should watch that video. It's only a couple minutes long. It's really cool to see. All right, so the Chinese people decorate everything red for Chinese New Year. So because of neon, the firecrackers, they're not the only thing that scare the monster away. Apparently, red is supposed to scare away demons and monsters too. So all of the decorations are red. That's why Chinese people are real big on red. It's supposed to bring good luck and starting over fresh. Things like that. They also buy all new clothes for Chinese New Year. Maybe not all, but some new. everybody buys something new for Chinese New Year. Every year has a zodiac animal. So our Western horoscope includes 12 zodiacs, one for each month. But in China, there's 12 zodiacs as well, but the animal is for the entire year rather than just for the month. In 2019, in case you don't know, it is the year of the pig. Last year was the year of the dog. Apparently, your zodiac year is actually bad luck. During this year, the weapon of defense color is red, so they make their kids wear red like daily. Just as you can decorate your home for protection, you can also wear red clothing. People wear red underwear every day of the year sometimes during their zodiac year. I don't know if you guys know this. I learned from a student on Cambly that's a girl who actually became a great friend. She's in South Korea, but they follow the same concept there. They actually have sort of two birthdays. So you grow 1 year older on the Spring Festival. So on Chinese New Year Day, everyone in China gets older. Now, your real age is the day that you were actually born on. But if you're talking to someone from a Western culture, if you want to know how old they are, it could vary slightly. So you may want to ask for their real age. Last but not least, the Chinese New Year ends with the Lantern Festival. The first full moon of the lunar year starts this Lantern Festival. Family is still most important. There's still a night of partying and freedom. In ancient time, girls weren't allowed to venture outside by themselves, but on this night they were able to walk around, moon gaze, look at the beautiful lanterns. Because of this, it's also known as Valentine's Day in China. So, if you didn't know, Chinese New Year is very big all around the world. The United States actually hosts the biggest Chinese New Year celebration outside of China, and that is in San Francisco. Probably because when I was in San Francisco, I saw their Chinatown, and it is amazing and huge, and probably the closest one I've seen in America. So they also celebrate it in other parts of the world, like Sydney, Australia, London, England. Many big cities have a Chinese New Year celebration. I wanted to talk to you about how this Chinese New Year will affect your bookings. This is really fast. Basically, if you are an established online ESL teacher, you have regulars at your company, it's probably not going to affect you a whole lot. In fact, you may get extra bookings because the kids aren't in school, nighttime slots are opening and booking too. If you are a new Chinese based teacher and you are new to the ESL industry and you're still trying to establish your clientele, then this may be a tough time for you because it's hard to get new students. But students that are established probably are taking extra classes. Yeah, it just depends on where you are in your building of your business, okay? My students are taking extra classes. A lot of them are. And then it depends on which company you work for, how they handle it too. I am fully booked at VIP Kid. I posted a video yesterday that I just started at Go Go Kid, and I literally was booked this morning and tonight. I looked again today, and I've got classes booked for tomorrow. So apparently Chinese New Year isn't affecting them. Now, Magic Years, I do know, is completely closing down the week of February 5th. They are ceasing operations for the week of Chinese New Year to spend time with their families. So it depends on which company you're working for and how established you are, essentially. So that is it. That's all I wanted to share with you today. Leave a comment below and let me know when you learned about Chinese New Year, if you have any experiences with this. What about like the wine situation being important in a different country? And I'll link that video to my important Chinese dinner I experienced on my first night, second night in China. It was really an event to see, so I'll link that too. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Happy Chinese New Year. Bye.